that it's an opportunity for somebody like myself who grew up in New York, who grew up seeing and still sees people from the Hasidic community whom I don't really know. And here through the film, I have had a chance to feel like I get a little insight into the community.
Watching 93 Queen really did change my perspective of the Hasidic Jewish community in Brooklyn.
I have never seen a representation of the Hasidic community like this in a film or TV show. You have, I think, been given a very narrow view of this community.
And I think most importantly, it in so many ways refutes the easy stereotypes.
I lived in Brooklyn for a year, and it seemed extremely monolithic and standoffish to me. And seeing the film and seeing sort of like the plurality of voices and opinions was really impactful for me to understand that it's much more complex and nuanced.
And now I have a whole new love and perspective and joy for the Hasidic community that I've never had before. And I just feel like this is the first time where I feel connected and joyous about a group of people that I really never got to know, but had so many stereotypes in my mind about.
The recognition that family is important, and that of the women who reference their family, how many children they have. They don't speak about it as a burden. They speak about it as something significant to them.
Borough Park is like a neighborhood of people that are just as complex and diverse as people you might meet anywhere else.
I think we are accustomed to the same very narrow view of what we believe the culture and traditions of the Hasidic community include. Every single one of those is shattered 93 Queen in the most beautiful way.
The breaking down barriers of ignorance is essential.
When you don't get to meet people as individuals, you make assumptions about them.
Well, one, I'm pretty sure Ruchi is changing the world, but two, they are expanding my idea of what it can be like for a woman in that community and how wonderful and invigorating and beautiful it can be.
The easy treatment of communities that we don't know, and particularly the Hasidic Jewish community, is to stigmatize. It is to stereotype. And I think what 93 Queen does is that it doesn't seek to oversimplify who the community is. It presents presented in many dimensions.
And when you get to meet, I'm going to botch the pronunciation of her name, but Ruchi, you see her as an individual. It seems like it's welcoming you into a community, kind of mistrustful of media and maybe not as open to outsiders, but it's certainly like made me realize that within that there are people like Ruchi who really, for her to let the director in, for her to let you in, and the entire world really, because here we are at Hot Docs, the premier documentary film festival in North America. That's a huge message to the world that we want to be seen for who we are.
And I think everyone has to see this movie. I'm a firm believer you can't be what you can't see, and there are just young women everywhere, no matter what religious background you are from, who are going to be inspired by her story.
I think it shows us women and men who are very content, who are living their lives in a conscious way. It says, this is who we are. We like who we are. We love who we are.
I think non-Hasidic people feel like, by and large, that if they've had any direct contact, superficial contact at the airport, or seeing somebody, hearing them speaking Yiddish, but not actually interacting with them, you have to get past that. You have to get to know the individuals that are in the community. It's a big risk to do what you did, especially in the context of people being so vitriolic and prejudgmental, that to insert yourself, to put yourself out there and say, like, here I am. I'm open to questions. Interrogate me. Ask me. Don't ask somebody else. That's somewhere between bold and self-sacrificial. And I just want to congratulate you guys for doing that.
And yet it is more extraordinary than I think most secular women. And I have just never seen anything like it. And it's such a personal and sensitive view of the community. You almost forget that there's like a camera. You just feel like you're in everyone's home and in all these meetings, and doesn't feel like an outsider made this film, and that to me is what makes it so